Hello friends, this is Ganesh and video number 8 on ABAP. So in this session, I'm going to explain about selection screen, one of the most important aspect to design your input screen. So far we have designed an input screen with the help of parameters keyword, and we have input field, we created option button, check boxes and everything. But mostly if you take any standard SAP screens, very basic screen, very report screen, everything is mostly with selection screen. If you open a SE16 transaction, the input for your any table, right? So lot of most of the fields are displayed by default, and you'll have a from and to values, input fields, so multiple selection options. So those are created or designed by selection screen or select options. Okay, so that we are going to see here. And if you take a screen part in ABAP, we have selection screen and we have model pool programming. Maybe the next level, I can say, next level of selection screen is a model pool programming. It's very easy way to design, drag and drop and everything. But the functionality wise, both are same. The screen elements, screen functionality. So both selection screen as well as your model pool screen, everything looks wise or functionality wise same. And we'll get into that. So why I mentioned is a part one is we have more or a lot of things about selection screen. So I believe I'm not able to complete everything in one video. So that's why I mentioned as a part one. So it will be easy for you as well to understand what is the basic of selection screen, what are the complexity we have, what we have, how we got to manage the um, screen flow. So everything we need some time to understand. So that's why I decided to go with part one and part two. So let's see one by one. So selection screen, it's like we have to design an input screen with more options to the user to provide their inputs. So simple example is SE16 initial screen. So if you after enter the table, press enter, you'll get all the inputs, right? Mostly any standard reports, purchase order report, everything is designed with selection screen. It has more options than parameters. And types of selection screen. So we have different types of selection screen, so we'll see that as well. And user command, so user command is most interesting part, and it's very simple. A user command is based on the user command your screen should react. It may be a button click or a enter or F8, whatever it is, right? So we have to capture the user command and we have to write the code based on that. Search and value help, probably I will take this a little later because it involves a concept called function module. So once I complete the function module, I just come back to the selection screen concept and I'll just tell you what is search and value help. Okay. And then I just play around with screen elements. And then selection screen, we have a block, we have a line, we have a screen, and we have text symbols. We already have seen text elements in the previous videos where we have to assign the name of your input parameters. That is nothing but selection text, and it's coming under text elements. In that, another option is called text symbols. We will see in text symbols over here, and select option. So this is very powerful and used keyword in ABAP programming. So if it is a selection screen without select option, mostly we won't develop any program. Okay, and one of the favorite topic is PBO and PAI. Probably this is coming under module pool. But the functionality I already mentioned, both are a screen programming, but functionality wise it's same. So PBO PI we call it as in module program. Here we call it as at selection screen and at selection screen output. So I will explain that as well. Okay. So these are the concepts I plan to just cover in this session. So let's go to the system. Excuse me. This is my system. Let me get into this. So C38, I have to go to the program. ZGI underscore selection screen. Okay. So going forward, I'm going to use only ZJI is my option over here. I'm going to use it. ZJI is my all the programs start with. It's a naming convention just for my reference. Okay. Just click creates. And a few people asked about the same system what I am using, so quite useful for them as well for their practice. Selection screen elements, and this is executable program. So rest all optional, that's why I'm not filling it in the continuous programs. Just click local object. So just a reminder, so we have seen like this, right? Parameter METNR, type METNR. So far we have declared with generic data type integer, character, packed and everything. So going forward, I'm going to refer everything with the data element because it copy the technical aspect of the data element. Okay, data element technical aspect is something, but what is the data type, length, decimal places, as well as it has some search help. Okay, I'll show you that in an example. Search help, it copies everything, so it's very easy. So always go with by referring, creating a variable by referring a data element. Okay, and we have like this, R1 radio button group AA, and R2 radio button group AA. Okay, so that's it. So let me activate it and execute it just to look and feel. So this way we have created it. Maybe we have added some checkboxes as well. Parameter C1 as checkbox and C2 as checkbox. Okay, yep. So input field, that's what this is search help. Because of type matter, if you say type character 18, I won't get these information. So if you click, it will give the search help. We call it a search help, or we call it as F4 help, function key F4 help. So these are coming from standard. So a lot of tabs available based on lot of options. You can search for a material, one material. Through this search way, you are able to find a material. So because people are coming from different department, right? So someone wants to find a material based on the material number itself, like with wildcard options, character, and description. Someone wants to say, I want a material from material category. So these things, everything coming with the declaration called type, because we are referring the data element. Whatever data element has a technical aspect, it takes everything. So that is a good advantage. So just close this. And radio button C1 and C2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to design. Okay, before that I will show you a C16 and MERA. So this screen I'm talking about. So you have a border and you have a from and to, multiple selection option, multiple select options. So we are going to design this with the help of selection screen. Okay, so I'm going to create a border first to my input screen. So to create a border, and I'm going to start with block. So selection screen has three things: block, line, and screen. I'm going to start with block selection screen, begin of block, any name you can give. So I can give B1. So entire thing coming under a block. So every block to be concluded with end of block, end of block B1. So you can have n number of block. Okay, so if you create a block, it just give a frame, I can say, so or it's a box. Okay, sorry, I'm saying begin of block B1 and end of block. So block is ready but is not visible because you need a frame for it. Suppose this, you want this box to be visible, so you have to say with frame. These are optionals. So yes, I want a block with a frame. Just execute, you will get a frame. And you can say I want a name for this frame or this block, I want a name. So I can say title, sorry, title text T01. Okay, so this is called text symbols. So text is a keyword, hyphen, any 3-digit character. It may be alphanumeric or numeric or only alphabets. It depends on your naming convention, client naming conventions. So otherwise simply practice, you can say T01 or A01, whatever it is, some 3-digit. Okay, just activate it. I need to give a name for it. So this text symbol is going to hold a text for you. Okay, if you execute, it won't come because this text is, I assigned it but it's not created it. I have to create it. The ways to create is just double click, it will ask do you want to create, then click yes, automatically it will take you to the text symbols screen. Another option is you are using a menu. So here you have an option called text elements. Okay, otherwise click text elements, or here go to text elements. So here selection test is nothing but the field of your input parameter, whatever you want, you can give it over here. Now text symbols. So I have say T01 and text symbol is material input. It's quite little delay. Material input. Save, check, and active. Okay, check is not required because it has only a text. It doesn't have a syntax. So just activate it. Make sure it's active. Otherwise, it won't reflect in your input screen selection box. Execute. It shows material input. So just a frame. Okay, so if your version is different, above version is different, 7.4, 7.5, 7.6 or lesser than that, you might see a different kind of input, but mostly it's same. Maybe it comes, everything start with the left, this in left side, left hand side is start with it. Okay, so there is no space over there, depends on the version, so you don't worry about it. Just it needs to be displayed, that's it. And I'm going to have a one more block. A number of block you can have. So begin of block, it's B2. So name should be unique. Every block name should be unique. And this also should be unique. Otherwise I'll get an error. It's already declared. Let me comment this too. I want only check boxes, different check boxes. And yeah, text symbol, I didn't change it. Okay. Okay, I don't want MATNR also. Okay. So check, activate. I just commented it and execute it. So you will get two boxes, but the text symbols I used the same one. That's why getting the same text. So if you want, you can change it. Like I want a different text symbols. Double click. This time I'm going to create this way. Click yes. It will take my text symbol name also. Text would be sub options. Activate. Just go back and execute. I'm sorry, this is not activated. My program, activate and execute. So you'll get two boxes with a different name on it. Okay. I'll show you on standard screen design. So it's easy to correlate with your what you develop actually. So I want a new session. So new window. And I'm going to use BA05. So this is a report. It display all the sales order in your SAP system. This is standard transaction code. This is the input screen for the list, for the report, I can say. So what type of report you want, what kind of data you want. So this much blocks they have, select option, mostly select option. They go mostly select options. Sometimes they come with the part of function as like only parameters they designed. So if really you are a newcomer of the selection screen and ABAP programming, take the screen as a reference, replicate the same thing in your Z program. So forget about the functionality. Okay, you can just have input box, document, and these are everything, right? Just go down. They have option button, open sales order. So just try everything. Just try for your practice. Okay, and the best part in SAP is, suppose you want to know some technical details of this input. Suppose you want to replicate this, I should know what is the data element of this document. What is document? What is the field behind it? So keep the cursor on any place, means which field you want to know the technical details. So keep the cursor, press F1. First it will display what is this. Okay, and it gives very information like it's a sales document, what is normally use of this, what is the example. So depends on it. Every field most of the field has F1 help. If not, sometimes they will give only single line information. It depends. Okay, and we want only the technical details. So go to technical information, click the button. It shows very clearly what is the report name. I use a transaction, right? And behind that, what is a program, what is a screen number, and what is a program name they used. Okay, it's Dynpro, it's a GUI data. It depends. Once you start learning model pool programming, very easy to understand. Just go ahead with this option, field data, because we are looking for only the data element, right? And this might be a sometimes table, sometimes structure, and this is a data element. So I want this data element to replicate. So you can say, okay, document yeah, p underscore document type this data element. So it depends on your need. So this is a way to understand or just know how to find the technical details of a field to write a program. Okay, let's go to our program. Okay, so this is the way we just design the blocks. So now I'm going to start with select option. Okay, so let me take that as a reference. So this is a select option. I can say, yeah, this is parameter. It has only one input. This is select option. Select option in the sense it, okay, there is a keyword to design or to create a field from and to. For any field we need a select options. So that is a keyword actually, select options. It creates material with this from and to. If you click this multiple select option, you will get select single values. Randomly you can give values, you can give a range, you can give a exclude option also, you can give a exclude range, except this I want all the materials. You have multiple selection, lot of options are available. Everything it's coming because of one keyword that is called select options. Okay, I will show you in our program. Go to the select options. Okay, s underscore matnr for. Normally we use a declaration for with the help of using type or like. So one more keyword, additional keyword to declare a variable is for. For is normally used for select options. So for, it needs to refer a field or a variable which should be available in the program. If you take matnr, matnr is not available in the program, right? This is available in the data dictionary. It's in a table. So parameters has a ability, but select option, this after for, you need to refer a local variable or a local field which is coming under a work area. Okay, so what I can do is I have a matner, right? I can use the p underscore matner because this is one variable which refers matner. So directly I can't use data element over here. I need some local variable for it. This is one way. Another way is I can do like this, lvmatnr type, because every this is it won't happen, right? Material is for parameter as well as select option. The same field we won't have parameter as a select option, so we can use this. That's why I'm using data lvmatnr type matnr. So either use p underscore matnr or use lv underscore matnr. Another option is data matnr type mara. So I create a work area. It needs some reference. That's it. It can be a variable. It can be a work area. It can be a custom work area or a direct work area. So ma work area underscore matner. Sorry, it should be mara. Mara -matnr. So that's the way. This will be very clear for you if I give a correct name. Mara matner. And the last option, we have one more, because and sometimes you have to work with existing program, so you should know this. Now you can say Mara matnr. So this much option you have to do it. You can do it. Let me give a different name and activate it. Then you'll get a clear confirmation. Yes, we are able to do it. Okay, but tables we should not use because it's absolute keyword. It just create a Mara work area for all the fields. So instead of this, also do the same. Instead of that, you can create a structure with the 3 fields and add a material for it, then use as a reference. Okay, just Control F2, no errors found. So these are the options, or I can say possibilities. Okay, so I'll go with, okay, let me go with little real way. I used to give a material like this. Okay, lv underscore matner. Now let's see how it display in the input screen. So this is for parameter and select. This is for select option. See, it has from and to. It have multiple options, single, select, everything designed with one single keyword. We don't design anything. So advantage also, you can give a from, range and everything. Okay, so now I'm going to write a select query for this. Excuse me. And I will give some properties of how it behaves in the select query. So first is select from Mara where matnr equal to parameter. First, this is for parameter, matnr, and I can say right. So I need a work area. Anyway, I have a work area into Mara. So right, I can use wa underscore Mara because it is a mixed combination of fields, character as well as numeric. So that's why it won't allow. So I have to use only field by field. So it's very rare we have to use select star. So this is for time consuming, I'm using it. Otherwise you have to use types and declare what are the fields you want, because Mara has almost 300 plus fields. It's waste of memory as well. So create only 3 fields, create a structure based on that, create a work area. These things we already covered. So based on that you create a work area for it. So this is for parameters. And next one is select option. Select, no change in the select query, almost same. Mara where matnr in. Okay, so in is the keyword which is going to use for select options. Write query for select options, select variables, whatever it is. Mara matnr mgrt we have to use n select because the destination of the select is only capable of holding only one record at a time. Okay, so let me have one write statement here. This is select options output. wa underscore Mara is unknown. I didn't declare it. Oops, sorry. Here it is. It's underscore. Okay, yes, matnr. Okay, because I used 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's why. Okay, let me come and delete this 2. So yes, matnr. All good. Execute. So now I'm going to get some material. So through F4 also you can get F4. I don't know what is the material. So just press enter. It will give first 500 entries. So I want this one, raw material 175. Okay, just execute. Okay, before that I'll give 100 to 200. It's a range. Just execute F8. So this is from parameters 175 and its material type, and 175 to 200. So the in will take care of everything. You don't write any separate select to get all the information. So that particular in is selecting, it just work for all the options. For example, I'm going to remove 102, 111 material. I don't want those things. So what I can do is go here, exclude single value. So 102 I don't want, and 111 I don't want. Execute, and again execute. So it's missed, right? 102 is missed and 111 is also missed. So all the options whatever user gives, that take care by one single operator, nothing but in. Okay, just play around this. It's very simple to understand. And so next we'll go furthermore, obligatory. So I'm going to use obligatory for select options. Okay, so what happens is technically we have a name. In general we are saying it's a from and to, but technically we call it as low, LOW, and it's high, low value, high value. Okay, if I give obligatory, all the default keywords are going to work only for low, not for high. For example, you can see the red mark over here. Maybe if it is a lower version, you will get a tick mark inside the input box. I'm giving 175 and try to execute. I thought this will obligatory applicable for high also, but no. Okay, if you want to use, mostly we won't use obligatory for a high, at least one value is required, so low is enough. If you feel we need to write a code, I will tell you how to do that. Okay, and same way if you use default 100, okay, execute. Obligated default doesn't make any sense, but see, let's see. So it shows here 100. It's applying only for low, not for high. Okay, so basic information. And another one is, let me take out this. If the parameter is empty, So if you say the parameter is empty, if you try to execute, you won't get any output because you are using an operator called equal. So equal is nothing but the value should be available in the database table, and Mara material is a key field. So it doesn't have any empty row. If you say empty and execute, you won't get any data. Okay, so that is the property of parameter. But select option, now select option is not mandatory. If the select option is empty, it takes all the records. Okay, always remember this. Select option is empty, it try to get all the data from your database table. This is a training system, and if you're in development, the data volume is very less. But in SAP, if you work for any companies and the client, they have lot more data in quality and production. Okay, so if they want to design any input screen, you have to just think about it. What are the fields to be make us mandatory? Otherwise, obligatory. Otherwise, what happens if they simply execute? It keep on running for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, more than that. Sometimes it go to dump as well, exceed the time limit. So then they just come and blame. So why this is not working fine? So some scenarios we have to be very careful. At least make some fields as mandatory value. Okay. So I'm going to execute now. There is no values in select options. So it will take all the records from Mara table. Got it? So keep an eye on select options. If it is not filled, you'll get all the records from database table. Whichever table you write the select, it just comes. So probably it might, I actually, yeah. This one they asked in interviews as well, not now, at least 12, 13 years back. Okay. And the next one is select options in where condition. Yeah. Okay. So next option is begin of line. So we have seen begin of block, right? So this is a block. The names I didn't give, you know how to give. Just go to text selection text and give the names over there. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep or the user wants, I want the option button to be in a single line. So any of the component or any of set of components to be displayed in a single line, we go with the option called begin of line. Okay, some rare scenarios, but user needs. I want these two option buttons, two checkboxes, or sequence of components to be in the single line. So we have to go with select options. Sorry, we have to go with selection screen, begin of line. Same like begin of block, we have a console called begin of line. I'm going to keep these two parameters like radio button inside a begin of line. So begin of line you can have anywhere within the block or outside of the block. So depends on your design. So now I'm going to within the block. So begin of line. So no names required. Just give a line. It's fine. And that is also needs to close it. End of line. Okay. Now R1, R2, right? So what I'm going to do is let me activate this. We'll go one by one. So for easy understanding, just execute. Imagination is it should be come in single line. Yes, R1, R2 comes in a single line. But where is the name? Name is gone. Okay, selection text is missing. Let's give our selection text also. Go to text elements, selection text. So R1, maybe I can say order type 1. And this is order type 2. Save it. Make sure you activate your selection text and go back. Program is active. Yes. Execute. No, it's not coming. So if any of the component, if you keep within the same line, begin of line option, okay, then the selection text won't work. So what you have to do is you have to use the option called comment. So that is another keyword with excuse me. With the help of comment, you have to make a name for your component. Okay, and it's not only okay, let me comment this first. One by one we'll do. It's not only for option button. You can keep any components you want. Okay, selection screen. Okay, there's a comma. Let me complete it. Yeah, it needs a different way you have to declare the radio button. So you can't use comma and do it because very next after R1 I need a name. So I have to put a selection screen comment. Okay, and offset you have to give which position it start and what is the length of your text. Okay, and I'm going to use text symbols T02, T01 I have used, I'm going to use T02, and I have to introduce one more parameter keyword for R2. Okay, then I need one more comment and text symbol for R2. So this is 3. Okay, R1, R2, R3. So now, okay, let me create text symbols R2. So this is, oh, it's T2 is already used. Okay, let me change in the program. T03 order type 1 and T04 order type 2. Save it, activate it. So you can play around, you can create and you can go and assign. So now I can change it. T3, T4. Let me display this without text. Okay, I'm going to display the text only for R1, not for R2. F8. So you'll get order type. Okay, just imagine this is column 1. So 2, 3, 4, fifth column it starts and we assign 10 character for this. Okay, maybe if you want little closer, you can change instead of 5, you can say 2 or 3. Okay, so let me change this to 3. Now I'm going to create 5 out of 10 for text 4. Little careful. I'm going to check it. No syntax. I'm going to activate it. Enter. So system is not able to generate your selection screen. One information, selection screen, every screen in SAP has a number. Okay, it has number only. And every selection screen has a default number called 1000. We didn't assign it explicitly, but by default, if you have a parameter or any input component, you design an input screen, by default, the screen number is 1000. So here it shows selection screen 1000 of report, error when generating. Technically it's correct, but it's not able to generate because it comes when mostly whenever you are using begin of line. The alignment is not good. So you are saying 3 out of 10. So for example, this occupied column 1 and column 3 plus 10, so 13 it's occupied. Probably it might be 14th column. So 14 columns are occupied, but the next component you are saying start from 5th column. So it's not possible because 14 is already occupied. At least you should start with 15th column. Okay, let me try 15 of 10. Check, no error, activate. It's good now. F8. So a little closed. This is row. It's so closed, so I have to give little more. Instead of 14, 15, I can give 16. Okay, 16. And order type 1 is not coming because what is the length? Okay, it's 12. Okay, I given only 10. That is why it's truncated. So let's give 12. So these are few small things. Just come to know. Okay, because 12, nah? So I have to give little more. So 3 plus 12, 15 plus 1. Yeah, 16 is occupied almost. So let me go with 18. So 15 for text 3 and 1 for R2. Yeah, now it's good. So order type 1, order type 2. So this is begin of line. You can have begin of line anywhere within the block or after the block, wherever you want, you can give. So suppose I'm giving between B1 and B2, between the blocks I'm giving, yeah, you can give 21 and 22. I want a different name for the group. Activate, execute. Okay, so here it is. Next is begin of screen. I'm going to have a screen, same like block, but difference is you can call a screen, depends on your input. Okay, every screen has a number. By default it's 1000, so normally we won't use 1000 as a number for selection screen. I'm using 1 2 3. Let me have a block inside a screen. Okay, let me have this as a screen. I'm going to have this as a block. You can have within a screen, you can have a block. Within a block, you can have a line. Just do it, okay? Just try different options, then you come to know. And I need to close my screen. So selection, end of screen 1, 2, 3. Okay, done. Okay, I have a screen and it's C1 and C2. The difference is begin of block and screen is block and line is kind of, I can say, is a static. When you execute, it automatically display as a input components or a block. But screen you have to call. So that is the advantage. Depends on the user input. I want to call my screen. Yeah, you can do that. Okay. So let me act toward it. Excuse me. Execute. So screen is not displayed, even the block, because block is inside the screen. So screen has to be called. Okay. So what I can do is I'm going to have a condition. If R1, okay, R2 is getting selected, order type 2, I want to call the screen. So what I can do before this, before, yeah, over here, before select and write, if condition, if R2 is equal to X. So we have seen this in the previous video about the if conditions. So call selection screen and the screen number. We have additions, we'll see quite later. Act toward it. Just execute. So if R2 is selected and press F8, then it calls the screen. So this is a sub option. Inside a screen I have a 2 checkbox, right? So that is the one. So press, now I have a screen and I have a block, means technically it's 2 screens now. I have a screen and I have a block. If you press F3, it goes to the previous screen. It's nothing but, I'm sorry, I have write statement. So it execute any event happens, it execute the write statement as well, and press F3, then go to the main one. Normally it won't behave in this manner. So to control this, we have events. We'll see when we talk about ABAP reports. So currently you just ignore it. Okay. So we have a report. When the after screen, it should come to the previous screen. It should not go to the report. So we have events. So the event will take care. Okay. Clear? Call screen, and the screen has an additional option. Suppose you want a screen as a small box. I don't want a full screen. I want a screen as a pop-up box, pop-up screen. So you can see, give the parameters starting at x-axis, y-axis, and ending at the same thing. I'm not good with that. Let's see how it display. Execute R2, select F8. Oops. So okay, it's not correct. Okay, so you have to adjust your x and y1, then it automatically comes the how you want. Okay, so from there also you have option to execute as well. Clear? So it should not go to the previous one. So let's see how to do that one. Clear? So this is the option starting at and ending at as well. And finally, I'm going to teach you about PBO and PAI. So PBO is process before output. Okay, I will tell you PBO over here itself. It's related to model pool, but it's fine. Sorry, process before output. So this will give little idea with the screen functionality, how it works. Process after input. So this is quite easy. Process after input. We can understand, okay, the process should happen after any input happens in the screen. Input may be anything, not only typing. You can enter, press button. If there is a button, click execute, F8. Everything is the input, right? So if anything happens in the screen, any input happens, it's kind of an event, I can say. If any event happens from the input, then automatically this particular block will trigger PAI. Okay, so every screen is divided into 2 categories, 2 set of process or a 2 set of places where we can write the code. So those codes are executed differently. So one is process after input. After any event triggers, click or whatever it is, then this set of code will trigger. Whatever you're going to write under this. PBO is before screen pop-ups. If you press F8, right, so before screen pop-ups you want to add something, so those kind of information to be written under PBO, process before output. Okay, I'll show you an example. Let me go to SE38. So this is very important to understand PBO or PAI. where to write what. Okay, so now I'm going to, this is a screen, right? I'm going to click a button called create. So this is an input. So then what happens once you click create, the code which is coming under PAI will trigger. Okay, should execute. Just click create. So somewhere the code written, they just go and call the another screen kind of. Okay, they called it. Okay, now I'm talking about PBO. So before the screen pop-ups, something to be executed, something to be some action to be performed. Okay, example, before pop-up the screen, this particular program name to be copied from this input and put it as a title. Okay, and concatenate with program attributes and change. And this fields to be filled with English, and this is a disable mode. This to be filled with username based on the login user, and this field is nothing but your current date and status, and these things to be filled. What are the types of program and what is the status of the program? These are drop down to be filled. So, and this checkbox to be checked. Before a screen pop-ups, if you want to write any code, any process to be done, you can write under the functionality called PBO, process before output. So hope you are very clear, because it's very important about PBO and PI, because only two places you can write a code for any screens. Okay, clear? So PI nothing but if I press save, it will go and find a code in the PI module. Okay, so just close it. This pop-up also comes from PAI. I'm going to click yes. So PBO is nothing but default. So if you press SE38, this is going to select it, coming under PBO. Okay. Now I'm give a simple example in our program. What I'm going to do is, okay, before going to that, technical terms. Now come to selection screen. Same functionality. This is in PBO we use in model pool programming. Okay. Same functionality. If you want to use in selection screen, you need to use an event. At selection screen output. So event name is at selection screen output. For PAI, you have to use an event at selection screen. No input and all. Okay, just at selection screen is enough. Okay, so let me give a small demo. What I'm going to do was at selection screen outputs. Okay, under this event, I'm going to select the checkbox. What is the checkbox name? C12. There are two checkboxes. Yeah, C1, C2, C11, C12. I'm going to say C12 equal to X. Sorry. And C12 also X dot. Oops, what happened? Okay, dot. Activate it. So before screen pop-ups, I want to pass a value to two input components, C2 and C12. F8. See, C2 is selected. Okay, that is in the screen, right? F8. C12 also selected. Okay, so that is PBO, because the screen is also belongs to the same program. So that's why it's happening in one PBO. You can write for all the components. Okay, this is very simple. I will give an example, real-time example when we go with PBO, when we go with PAI. Okay, and I'm going to do another event called at selection screen. So I'm going to give P underscore matnr equal 123. Okay, so whenever they press enter, okay, if any event happens, okay, I'm going to the event is enter. So based on the enter, the value of matnr is going to be filled with 1, 2, 3. Okay, but we have excuse me, we we have an option of capture the particular event. So that if there is some button, if this button is selected, fill it. If this checkbox is selected, fill it. If F8, fill it. If enter, fill it. So everything is possible. You don't worry. We can do that. Okay. So this is a simple understanding of PBO and PI at selection screen output at selection screen. Act toward it and execute it. So now C2 is selected. I'm going to press enter. So 1, 2, 3 is executed in PAI. After press enter, PAI executes. So hope this is might useful to begin about the selection screen. Just play around with this. If you have any doubt, please let me know, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.